Okay, welcome to part 3 of seat covers. As you can see here, I actually have the foam already stuck onto it. The reason being is that I started the video, I stuck it on, and then unfortunately I realised I hadn't hit record on the button, so therefore I was talking to myself. So instead of, I'm not ripping this off, that's for sure. Lucky enough, the only part we missed is basically we're going to open this up. So put the key on it, open it up, spray the back of it, stick it down. That's basically what you miss. You shouldn't have to take any notches over or anything. That's it. So, next part, how we're going to put the top vinyl on. So, in most cases you take the vinyl, you put it over, pull it all the way down. The problem with that is you end up either ripping it, distorting it, it twists, deforms. A lot of things can happen trying to pull it down because it's friction. You basically have the vinyl rubbing against here. The more surface area you have, the more friction, the harder it is to do. And the other hard part about it is that the hole, the top, the headrest never lines up. I mean, here's the headrest here. How many times have you, or if you've done it before, where you've actually put it on and it doesn't line up, and you end up putting it through the vinyl and bending and distorting it to get it into the hole to get it to pop in. Now you end up with ripples and everything on it. That's not what you want. You want the hole to line up with the hole for this. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use this as a guide. So, we're going to get a seat cover. And the first thing we're going to do with our seat cover, we're going to turn it inside out. So, I've turned this inside out. Remember, this part here has to feed through the center, goes in, comes down the back and lifts up. So remember, that has to go down. So just remember when we go to put this on, that this does have to be at the front. Alright? So, I'm going to flip it this way. Sorry. First we're going to get this. Now if you remember if you know how it sits grooved out and it sits towards the front. Alright? So that's how it's going to sit in. But because it's going through the top, basically what we're going to do is we are going to invert it. So turn it the opposite way. Slide it through the hole. Alright? And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift it up and place it in. Now you can see this. I have to make sure I can see this. But you can see it's just hanging there. So it's hanging in. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down. And what we'll end up doing is folding the seat back because I need to put it on the ground. And we're basically going to unravel it all the way down. I don't know if you realised I was going to do that as soon as I turned it inside out. But what I will do is, to help it, which normally you wouldn't do, is I'm going to spray some glue at the top here. I want to make sure it stays in position. Again, this is a choice, you don't have to do this. I choose to do it just up the top. And then, as soon as we have it, this is where I have to set it up now. So, I'm going to get the bar and then let the seat fold up. Remember, it's spring, so it's going to pop back pretty quick. Ooh, there you go. I'll take it off, remove my box. Seat on the ground. Hopefully you can see this. Should fold up a little more. Just a bit more. Now, I put the glue at the top. I'm going to put my hands either side of it. I'm just going to let it fold down. Once I get to starting it, it's good. Over the edge. Hands to the side, and here we go. There we go. Now, I only go a small bit before going any further. Now I can just make sure it's on all the way. So So I'll make sure I stretch the back, the front, because of the least amount of friction here, because there's barely any of it touching it. And that's why I put some spray at the top, because once I get it right, spray should set in, it should hold it in position. Now, and I know it's going to line up with the hole obviously because I'm using this as a guide. So now I have it on, hand on the side again. I'm just going to let it naturally fold down. Look at this. So if you can see here, look how good of a finish there I have. I didn't have to pull it, stretch or do anything to it. Or just as it went down, when there was a little amount on it, I gave it a little tug to make sure it set down nice, and that's why I put some spray here. Because now it will stay in position for me. And that's what I do, is the key part to hold this on. Otherwise, again, yeah, the things move around. Now, at this point, you can make your final adjustments. I say final is that you can make sure the foam on the corners is in the right correct position. Make sure we're sitting in right. And then we're going to push the cloth through the middle. And we're going to take it out the rear. When I look at this, it reminds me every time of Beetlejuice. The person sitting in the waiting room with a little tiny head. The big body, little tiny head. That's what it reminds me of. Alright. So this cloth here, what does this do? Well, this creates the center to be ribbed. So you pull it back and it pulls the middle in, and it just brings it inwards. So just needs to have a good stretch. So we bring it down, and then it's basically going to wrap around this and come back up. You can glue it on, like you can spray glue it on, which some do be. Me, I just put a clip on it. Obviously, getting it through is the hard part. So we'll go to one corner, and hopefully you can see this. There we go. Get to one corner and work, get at least one side up and work your way along. So most of the time it's basically glued in position here, but if you have extra clips, which I said, use 2 clips, because that way you can always take them off and readjust it. So now I'll let it come down a bit more. And now it's pretty much down. So now it's down, now I can actually pull it. There's no point in pulling it it's halfway up because it's already sticking out and it'll only go as far as where it sits. So now it's down. I can really go pulling it. Ooh, look at that. Ripped on me. Don't worry about it. Of course, the clips have to be on this side. I swear I moved the clips and now I can't see it. Oh, there you are. One side on. As I said, you can glue this on. Most of them I think do be glued anyway. I just like to use the 2 clips because it allows me to change if I need to be. Again, it's a personal choice and preference. So, now we have this on, we have our groove sitting in. Now what we want to do is, we want to work on getting the sides done. This does pull through, and then we turn it up from the back. But before we do that, if we do it this way, we're we're not pulling as much through as we need to do. We need to get the sides down so it's tension down the side. It makes this so much easier. So the next step will be to get the wood onto the side, line it up, that will keep it pulled down, and then the last part will be tuck this around. After that, we can do a headrest, which pops off. And now I know for a fact that this lines up absolutely perfect with the headrest, so now I don't have to worry. So that's basically it. And as I said, the final tug for here at the back is when it does come down. As I said, there's more than enough room there to come down. That does get tucked around. I know that's a nice smooth finish here. So all looking good, so good. That's nice, it's plush. That will go in. We have a groove in here. So the foam is off. There we go. But that be done on the adjustment when we do get to the bottom to make sure it's tucked in and pulled in. But so far, that's it. Looking good, looking nice, looking plush. So join me on the next part. Will be part 4, and we're going to do the sides. That's it. So for this part, that's it. And I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in part 4.